What are underrated/unpopular high-paying jobs that don't require an insane amount of education? Plus update. Sales. Sales is the answer to most of these questions we see every day. Is it guaranteed? No. Are there a lot of factors? Yes. Is sales for everyone? No. Does it answer OP? Yes. I made close to $150,000 in my second year in sales. I make more now. Some companies do not require a degree. I was 25, broke and embarrassed. It was 3 p.m. and I was still in the same hoodie I slept in. Hood up, ramen cold, checking Reddit like it held the key to my future. I just bounced from a warehouse gig, and my bank account said $47.23. Rent was due in 5 days. I typed, high-paying jobs, no degree. Thread after thread, it was the same. Plumber, electrician, tech support. Then I saw it. Sales is the answer to most of these questions we see every day. Is it guaranteed? No. Are there a lot of factors? Yes. Is sales for everyone? No. I made $150,000 my second year. Some companies don't require a degree. I stared at that comment like it was some kind of prophecy. Sales. No degree. $150,000? I had nothing to lose but my pride. And honestly, pride wasn't covering rent. So I clicked on a Craigslist post. Tech sales associate, no experience needed, base plus commission. Sounded scammy. Looked worse. I applied anyway. I walked into the office expecting cubicles and dress codes. Instead, I got LED lights, fake plants, and a glass wall with the words grind, close, repeat on it. A guy named Mikey greeted me with a blinding smile and the kind of handshake that made your fingers pop. You Derrick? Yeah. You ever done sales before? Not really, but I've talked people into stuff. Good enough. You start Monday. No salary, but $200 if you book 5 demos a week. We sell software to small businesses. Cold calls. That was it. Interview over. I didn't even know what demos meant or what we were selling, but I showed up on Monday anyway. First day, I got a desk, a headset, and a script. You'll be calling business owners, restaurants, boutiques, gym guys, anyone with a register. Leah, our trainer, told me. We're pitching a POS, point of sale system, software. I nodded like I understood. In my head, I was Googling what POS actually meant. Training was 5 days. CRM walkthrough, mock calls, objection handling. Then they threw us on the phones. My first 20 calls were disasters. One guy told me to get a real job. Another said if I called again, he'd drive down and throw my phone into the ocean. I was sweating through my shirt by call 14, stuttering by 18. But then, call number 23, I got through to a lady in Idaho who ran a sandwich shop. Her system froze twice a day. Her receipts looked like crime scene reports, and she hated her tech support guy. I booked the demo, $0 in commission, but it felt like I hit the lottery. 6 weeks in, I nearly quit 4 times. I was still broke, eating dollar store mac and cheese. My ex blocked me on everything because I tried to sell her mom a POS system. Then I closed my first deal. It was a local ice cream shop with a janky iPad checkout. After 2 demos, a bunch of back-and-forth emails, and a phone call at 9:45 p.m. on a Sunday, the owner finally said, "All right, let's do it. Contract, $3,200. My cut, $480. It felt like $10,000. I paid my phone bill, bought name-brand cereal, and called my mom. I told her, I think I found something I don't suck at. She cried. I'll now continue writing parts 5 through 12, keeping Derrick's first-person voice, realistic tone, and insightful sales journey. This will unfold across a few messages due to size limits, but I'll make sure it's cohesive. They don't tell you what happens after the first win. You think it's all uphill from there. It's not. Month 4 hit like a brick. My leads dried up. My pitch got stale. People started hanging up faster. I'd open the CRM, stare at the names, and feel my chest tighten. That confident buzz I had in month 2, gone. One Tuesday, I made 87 calls and booked 0 demos. That night I sat in the parking lot eating gas station chicken fingers and seriously thought about quitting. Leah noticed. She always noticed. You're selling scared, she told me. You're chasing the yes like it owes you money. Well, I said, it kinda does. She didn't laugh. Instead, She played one of my calls back through her laptop. It was painful. I talked fast, rushed to pitch before the guy even said hello. My voice cracked. I interrupted. I sounded like a robot that needed therapy. "You're pitching the product," she said, "not solving a problem. Sales isn't about pressure. It's about pain. Find the pain, then fix it." I hated how much sense that made. So I went back to basics. The next morning, I showed up early, brought a notebook, listened to my best calls and my worst ones, wrote down every objection I heard, every time I talked too much, every time I forgot to ask why they were frustrated. I changed my opener. "Hey, John, real quick. I work with small business owners in your space, and I'm just curious. What's your current checkout system like?" I stopped pitching. I asked questions, real ones. And when they said things like, "We're fine with what we have," I'd say, "That's totally fair. Most people are," until they realize how much time or money they're losing. I learned to pause. Let silence do its job. The longer I waited, the more they talked. The more they talked, the more I understood. By the end of that week, I had 5 demos on the board. I didn't celebrate. I studied. I was learning the game. Month 5, I became obsessed with the process, not just the paycheck. I made myself a rule: never start a day blind. Every morning, I opened my notebook and reviewed yesterday's calls. Wins, losses, call times, talk tracks. I tracked everything. Calls made, connect rate, demos booked, conversion rate, average deal size. Most reps in the office made 40 to 50 calls and called a day. I made 100. I didn't just work harder, I worked tighter. I knew when to call, 8 to 9 a.m. and 4 to 6 p.m. I knew who to avoid. Overly polite people were usually a dead end. I even knew which words got better responses. Sales became a science. I wasn't hustling. I was experimenting. I stopped eating lunch with the team, not because I didn't like them, but because they spent those hours venting. I spent them sharpening, listening to sales podcasts, practicing rebuttals, studying tonality. This wasn't a job anymore. It was a craft. By month 6, I'd heard every objection on earth. "We're happy with what we have. We're too small. This sounds expensive. Call me next quarter." Old Derrick used to fold. New Derrick leaned in. "I hear you. Can I ask, what's working really well with your current setup?" That question killed their script, made them think. Half the time, they'd pause and admit things weren't that great. And when someone said it was too expensive, totally fair. And if the ROI doesn't make sense, you absolutely shouldn't move forward. Let's figure out if it does. I learned that fighting objections is like martial arts. You don't block. You absorb, redirect, make them realize they're arguing against themselves. It happened in month 9. I hit $10,764 in commission. $10,000. That's not money you just spend. That's money that changes your brain chemistry. I took a picture of my stub, sent it to my mom. She called me crying. I didn't buy a Rolex or some dumb flex. I bought a secondhand Honda Civic that didn't scream when I turned the wheel. I moved into a better apartment. Fridge with an ice maker. Closet that didn't smell like regret. At work, people started asking me for advice. Me, the guy who barely knew what POS meant a year ago. The company flew me out to our Vegas summit. First-class flight, hotel on the Strip, rooftop dinner. They gave me a mic and asked me to share my story. I kept it simple. I was broke, had no experience, and couldn't close a window. I stopped trying to sell and started trying to understand. You don't need to be slick. You need to be real and consistent. The crowd clapped. I smiled awkwardly. I'm still not good with praise. Mikey pulled me aside after and offered a promotion. Team lead. I said yes. Training new reps felt surreal. I saw myself in every single one of them. Wide-eyed, nervous, trying to fake confidence over the phone. One kid, Austin, reminded me of me too much. Smart, quiet, full of self-doubt. I pulled him aside after his first rough day. You're not here to sell. You're here to learn. The money comes when you stop chasing it and start chasing skill. He didn't get it right away, but he stayed late. Practiced. I sent him my scripts, my templates. A month later, he beat quota. It felt better than closing a deal myself. Sometimes I go back to that thread. High-paying jobs, no degree. I see the same questions, the same desperation in the comments. I always want to write. Sales. It's not a golden ticket. You will eat rejection for breakfast. You'll doubt yourself. But if you stay sharp, stay curious, and stop taking things personally, you will win. I went from $47 in my account to $100,000 plus in under 18 months. No degree, no background, just a phone, some grit, and a hunger not to be broke. And then I log out, put on my headset, dial the next number. Update. 1 year later, still dialing. It's been 12 months since I wrote that Reddit post. I didn't think anyone would care, but it blew up. DMs, job questions, people asking if I was real. I'm real. And here's what's changed since then. About 8 reps under me. Fresh faces. Some cocky, some terrified. All hungry. We do weekly call reviews, breakdown sessions, and even cold call battles. I give them the same rule Leah gave me. Find the pain. Fix the pain. The cool part? Watching one of them go from 0 demos to top 5% in a quarter. It's like coaching yourself through a time machine. Half salary, half commission. I'm not flashy. No Lumbo. No crypto, NFT nonsense. I just paid off my car. Helped my sister with college. Got my mom a new water heater without her having to ask. Money doesn't fix everything, but it removes the noise so you can actually hear your own thoughts. People think sales is about being slick. It's not. It's about being useful, being sharp, being consistent when everyone else flakes, learning fast, forgetting ego, keeping your word, showing up when it's raining, when it's slow, when it's boring, and dialing anyway. That's the magic. Now I'm learning outbound email strategy, LinkedIn social selling, automation tools, AI-assisted CRMs. The whole landscape is shifting. Reps who don't adapt, they get left behind. So I stay learning. Always. If you're reading this and still in hoodie mode, eating cold ramen, wondering if you'll ever make it, you will. But you won't luck into it. You'll outlearn and outlast the people who think they're too good to be rejected 50 times a day. That's it. That's the job. And yes, I'm still dialing. A year ago, I was just a guy trying to scrape together enough commission to pay rent. Now, I'm leading a team of 8 people. I never thought I'd be the mentor type. But here I am, in charge of keeping other people's lights on, while still making sure my own doesn't flicker out. That's the thing about leadership. It's a different kind of grind. At first, it felt like I was too young for this, like I had no business telling people what to do. But after I coached Austin through his first quarter, and he ended up being the top producer in the office, something clicked. I wasn't just teaching them the hustle. I was teaching them the mindset. I was giving them the tools to take control of their own future. That's the part that gets me out of bed now, when the phone feels like a millstone around my neck. It's one thing to close a deal. It's another to help someone else do it and see them grow. We hired a few new guys last month. All eager, all excited. But I can already see the cracks in their facades. They don't know how tough it's going to get. I remember my first cold call like it was yesterday. Stammering, sweating, voice cracking. I didn't know how to control the conversation, how to manage my nerves. Most of these guys are already getting discouraged after a week of rejection. I pull them into the conference room and run through the basics. Sales is about solving problems. If you're not curious about the customer, you're just pushing a product. And people can smell that from a mile away. It's frustrating sometimes. I want to shake them and say, it's not going to be easy, but if you stick with it, you'll make it. They look at me, eyes wide, unsure. It's like they're waiting for the shortcut. I don't have a shortcut for them. None of us do. They're going to have to eat the same dirt I did. But there's a bigger problem now, the bottleneck. We're growing fast, too fast. I've got more deals coming in than I can handle. And the more I take on, the less I'm able to coach my team properly. I can see it now. The fine line between being a sales rep and being a leader. It's easy to get sucked back into the comfort of closing deals and chasing commissions. But if I stay in the trenches, I'm not helping my team move forward. I'm holding them back. I got to delegate more. I can't do everything. I need to step back and focus on the bigger picture. But it's hard. I'm used to the adrenaline, the chase, the win. It's late on a Friday, and I'm staring at my dashboard. There are 4 deals on the table, each worth at least $10,000 in commission, and I know they won't close unless I personally handle them. But my team is depending on me, too. If I jump back into the field, it'll set a bad example. They'll think that closing is more important than coaching, that they'll never be good enough to make it without me. I stand up and pace around my office. My phone buzzes on a desk. It's a text from Leah. She still works in the same company, but now she's managing her own team in a different division. Leah, stop chasing the next sale. You're more than just a closer now. Led. I start delegating more. I trust Austin to take on some of the bigger demos. He's been ready for it for months now, but I kept him on the leash. I'm pulling back now, allowing him to rise. I'm building systems. I'm not just chasing sales. I'm building a machine that can run without me at the helm every minute. It's tough to let go, but that's the game now. I still do a few calls here and there. A few deals for the excitement, the rush. But I'm learning that my value is in the bigger picture, not the individual sale. It's a simple message, but it hits like a punch in the gut. I know she's right. I'm not that guy anymore. The one who chased every dollar just to survive. I'm a leader now. I need to teach the people who are just starting out to believe they can get to where I am. The hustle's not over. It's just changing shape. A few months go by, and the changes start to show. My team is closing deals without my constant input. They're coming to me for strategy, not for hand-holding. We hit a record quarter. My entire team did. Austin's hit 6 figures in commission. Megan's closing more deals than anyone expected. Even the new hires are starting to see the results. I still close a deal here and there, but I've stopped trying to be the hero. The team is the hero. They're running the show now. As I sit in my office, looking over my team's numbers, I realize something. Leadership is its own kind of hustle. It's harder than being a rep, but it's far more rewarding. Sales never stops being a grind. But now I get to see the grind through a different lens. And that's the true reward. Watching others build their success and knowing you had a hand in making it happen. Thank you for watching, and if you want more contents like these, please like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell for more contents like this.